Hey Ryan, can you tell me about some freshwater puffers?
So loaded. Sure, Connor. Let's talk about freshwater puffers.
So what are the main kinds of freshwater puffers that you may or may not see in the store?
Generally you have bigger ones or you have smaller ones. That's kind of it. Most of them are going to be on the bigger side. You're talking 6 inches, 8 inches. There are a few of the, smaller ones, but small is all relative. Mm-hmm. The smallest ones we'll have, and we see a lot of now, are going to be like the pea puffer, the dwarf puffer. They've got 5 different names.
And how big do those usually get?
Generally, you're looking about 1.5 inches, maybe 2 inches.
So is that what you call small?
That size? Yeah, that's going to be your smallest ones. And well, as the video says, these are true freshwater. There's no brackish, there's no salinity that you have to worry about.
Can you give me some examples of a few big puffers?
You're going to be looking at, the biggest you can get is a maboo.
Okay.
We're talking monsters. We're talking bigger than a lot of saltwater fish.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a tank. Then you're going to be looking at your Fahaka. Those are generally 18 inches, roughly. Most of the time that's not to include the tail. So you're still looking at a massive fish. Bigger ones for a lot of people are going to be like the one we'll see later, the Arrowhead, or the pig nose, or the horse head. Apparently there's 4 or 5 names for that as well. The hairy puffers, your Amazon puffers, your avocado puffers, or golden back puffer. They've got 3 or 4 different names as well. Those are going to be in that 6 to 8 inch mark.
What kind of puffers do we have in right now?
We've got a few different ones. Probably one of my favorites are going to be not the Andrew, although he does suck in a lot of hot air too. Hey! The Amazon puffer. Probably one of my favorites. Well, that's a loaded statement because I love all of these guys. Well, as the name entails, South American puffer, standard neutral water. They're only going to get that 6 inches. They are one of the kind of sort of community safe, as Chuck was saying earlier. Your bigger fish that move a little quicker, your rainbows, things like that, they can handle. You do have something along the lines like the Congo puffer, the Shodentai. Again, the same fish. But those are really kind of cost prohibited. And those are another community style, as long as you're careful about what you put in.
So you said these guys get about 6 inches?
Yep.
Because they're like an inch right now. So They're going to get really big compared to this.
Compared to what we have, yes. They will get a lot bigger, but they are a slow grower.
So what other kind of puffers do we have?
The other one that's a really cool one that a lot of people like just because it's small and you can keep these group of them are going to be your pea puffers, your dwarf puffers. They are pretty much full grown. They may get a 1/2 inch bigger. They're going to look like oversized jelly beans or kidney beans. Keep in mind though, just because they are small does not mean they are not a predator. They can bite you, it does hurt. Now with these guys too, you can keep them in groups. The general rule of thumb is 5 gallons for one, about 3 gallons for each additional one. Reason being is they are territorial, they can hurt each other. You can mix them up, males and females. The males will generally, as an adult, have a black line that runs the length of them on their belly. There is a way to tell with color variations, however that part gets a little kind of difficult to tell. But you can breed these in a tank. It is challenging. Probably won't succeed on the first attempt, but it definitely would be one of those fun, rewarding style projects.
I feel like we should really mention what we recently got in and then sold immediately, because that was a pretty cool puffer.
We'll get to him last because he's my favorite little baked potato named Rusty. That's kind of our mediums and smalls, and now we'll get up to one of the bigger ones we have, the Fahaka puffer. So these will be one of the bigger puffers that we keep and will keep on a semi-regular basis. These are the Fahakas. These are the ones that get 18 inches roughly.
Because they're about 1 inch, no, 1/2 inch right now.
No, they're about 1/2 inch. There's 1 or 2 in there that are kind of touching 3/4. Yet again, one of those things where you're going to want to keep alone. Eventually you may be able to get by with some smaller live bearers. Keep in mind with that, their eyes are widespread. They don't exactly have the best aim at trying to get their food, so if guppy or whatever is trying to eat the same thing they are, it might go missing. They're not going to go actively hunt them when they're bigger, just because that's a whole lot of wasted energy for something that isn't that nutritious. They're going to get massive. It will primarily be a species-only tank. He's going to want to play. He's going to beg for food, much like he's doing now.
And you can just imagine how that'll be when they're like several dozen times the size of this. All right, got any more for me?
Well, as you seen the other day, we do have the Arrowhead puffer or the dog or horsehead puffer. There's 3 or 4 names for almost every puffer. It gets kind of annoying and convoluted. Definitely my favorite little baked potato. We can come take a look at him. Right now he's hiding, and this is pretty much what he'll do in your tank.
You can kind of see his eye right there.
Yep, you can see his eye, you can see him breathing, and he'll wait for something to come by and kind of snag it up. He is that ambush predator. He will come out and about and swim when you're not looking at him, because even the little guys that we were looking at earlier, they have incredible vision. There's talks anywhere between 20 and 50 foot outside of the aquarium that they can see. Anecdotal evidence is I can go feed mine and he'll be happy as can be. My wife will walk in the room, go to feed him, go to look at him. He'll realize who it is and kind of swim away. Right now, he's hanging out, he's hiding. He's not really worried about a whole lot. Come here, buddy. Hey, friend.
There he is.
There's our little buddy. Show off. There you go. We just want to look at you. So, as you've seen, he made a dart right back down to the bottom. That's his comfort zone. That's his little safe place. And if we were to back up and watch him, he'll swim around, find another comfy place to park, and just hang out. And you can see him, he's watching us as much as we're watching him. Like the rest of the puffers, it's all going to be relatively easy care. The hardest thing about these guys is to get them eating hard and crunchy food to keep that beak file down. They like that neutral water, they don't want anything too hard or too soft. Yet again, the fresh water, so there's no salt you have to worry about. Just do your water changes. That is another big thing, because these guys, well, they're messy eaters. They eat a lot, they go to the bathroom a lot, so that means our water quality can go downhill quickly. As long as we are doing our water changes, that'll take care of that.
So he's about 5 or so inches right now, maybe 6. How big does he get?
That's pretty much going to be the full size, the adult. Now with something like him, there are a few other puffers that are like this that you can keep in a 20 long, a 20 high, because they really don't care too much. They're not going to be moving around. They're not going to be actively swimming.
Are these fish in here his friends, or are they his food?
Well, as of right now, they are his friends. At some point, they may be food. We just got this guy Wednesday, and we're just making sure he does eat, trying to take care of him, give him a variety of food.
Do you see the shrimp in there? Is that for him?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And you'll notice too, there are plenty of snails in there, there are shrimp, and there are some live fish, just because we want to make sure that he can eat, so that way when he does go home, we can actually tell you guys what he's eating, how he's doing, things like that.
So those are all the freshwater puffers we have in the store, but what are some other ones that we don't have right now, but you might see in the hobby?
Well, the first one that comes to mind is one I just mentioned while we were looking at the Amazons, the Congo River puffer, or the Shodentai puffer. That is regarded as the true community puffer that you can have. Keep in mind, it is still a puffer. They still like meaty substances. They may go after other fish. Kind of par for the course when you keep these guys. However, those are definitely rare. Another one that we're looking at getting that we see every now and then is going to be a hairy puffer. He is definitely a single species fish. He is violent, he is mean, he is aggressive, he will eat everything. But he is definitely that wet pet that pretty much he's going to be a cat. Kind of wants the attention but wants you to leave him alone most of the time. Will bite you if you irritate it. Like, subscribe, all that other fancy stuff on social media. Chuck, don't kill me. I'm trying to find stuff for Connor.
He's trying to find a video of a puffer puffing up. But he also refuses to do the outro.
I'm doing it now.
I don't think this really counts. Oh, jeez.
Now, grant you, that's a saltwater, that's a dog face, and that's still a baby. And that is, well, the photo from the top down.
And how big was it?
About the size of that Arrowhead. He wasn't much bigger than him, so he'll puff up 3 to 5 times their size, like almost basketball size. Yes, they are called puffer fish. However, that really only happens 2 times. One is, oh my god, panic, something's trying to eat me. So they are made to ingest a whole bunch of water quickly, or it is something that they have to use and stretch out. So you're waking up in the morning, you take a big yawn, stretch out. That's essentially what they're doing. It only lasts a couple seconds.
Anyway, that was a little summary of a good amount of freshwater puffers that you can see in the trade. Some that we have here, some that we don't. So thank you very much, Ryan.
Not a problem.
So enthusiastic.